I am a failed professional footballer. But if I could go back and do it again, these are the 3 things I would do to make sure I didn't fail. The key part of this video is that I'm not going to give generic advice. Things like just train more and you'll get better. Of course, if you do more soccer kicks, you will get better. The first thing you need to know is the footballing pyramid that you are playing in right now. You need to understand the culture and how you can feasibly progress through the leagues. Everybody's footballing pyramid looks different and everyone's footballing culture is slightly different. I'm not saying that you cannot become a pro. It just means that the decisions that you need to make are going to be different. For example, I've heard that Germany and Poland have great systems that are designed for you to try and progress through the leagues. But if you don't have European citizenship, that's going to be difficult for you. At a young age, have a good understanding of the footballing pyramid that you are currently in, what that means for you trying to become a professional, and what countries are feasible for you to play football in and have the best chance of playing professionally in. Okay, this next one is keep it simple, stupid. At young ages, it's really easy to play football the way that Neymar does on a highlights reel. I give this advice mostly to players who are about 18, 19 and trying to get into a first grade squad. But the same advice applies to players who are even younger, like who want to get signed by a better club or want to go up a division or just want to get seen generally and perform a little bit better. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't try to overcomplicate things that do not need to be overcomplicated. You don't need to take extra touches. You don't need to throw in extra skill moves. You don't need to beat the player again. You don't need to score absolute screamers from outside the box to get noticed. So, for example, if you're a striker and you want to get noticed, it's better for you to score 10 goals a season when every single one of those goals is a tap into an open net than it is to score 2 goals that are absolute screamers from outside the box. If you take one touch, whip it across and your team scores, you're going to look good. If you rip 3 players into shreds and then put in a poor cross, no one's going to look at you and say, man, that guy just took on 3 players, what a good player. They're going to look at you and say, well, what did you get from that? My third and final piece of advice is stay in your lane. You never want to be looking at other people and comparing yourself to other people and the journeys that they've made and the connections that they might have had and whatever it is. Don't even think about it. Focus only on yourself and what you are in control of and what your next best decision is. Too many times do I speak to younger players, especially younger players, who are telling me about some shit player. Like, it is a waste of energy to concern yourself with what other people are doing. Don't come to me crying about it. Prove them wrong. Prove yourself right. If you think you're better than them, prove yourself right. Stay in your lane. Anyway, so those are my 3 bits of advice if I could go back and do it again. If you do those 3 things, you will have a much higher chance of playing professionally. And if you've stayed to the end of the video, I'm going to give you a bit of extra sauce, okay? You need to always be training all the time. Consistency is key. I say it because I see a lot of players who kill themselves in the gym and then can't train the next day because they're too sore. Or they go hard out in training for a week and do all of these extras and then they get injured. Always train all the time. You need to be the player that is constantly available, that's constantly asking the questions of the players that are above you. You need to always be putting pressure on them. You never want to make their lives easy. You want to constantly be annoying, always be available, always train all the time. That's the source.